Okay, so the first step when we are adding mixed numbers or subtracting mixed numbers, we first need to change that mixed number into an improper fraction. So let's look at the mixed number here, 1 3/4. So there's a couple steps or rules that you need to do when you are doing this. So the first one is keep the denominator the same. So in this instance, we have 1 3/4. So the denominator for our improper fraction is going to be over 4 because the denominator in our mixed number is 4. So the next thing that we are going to be doing is the math part. So we are going to be multiplying that denominator by the whole number and then add the numerator. So in this instance, my whole number is 1, my numerator is 3, and my denominator is 4. So when I multiply that 4 by 1, my answer is going to be 4. And then when I add 3, I'm going to get 7 over 4 as my improper fraction. As another example, I'm going to be doing 1 3/8. I'm going to be converting this mixed number into an improper fraction. So my first step is going to be multiplying that whole number by the denominator. So I'm going to go 1 multiplied by 8, and then I'm going to add that numerator. So I'm going to add 3. And if I'm looking at my order of operations, I have to multiply that 1 by 8 first, which is 8, then add 3. I'm going to get a improper fraction that is equal to 11 over 8, because remember, we're going to keep that denominator the same. All right, now as an example, I'm going to be adding those two mixed numbers I used in the earlier example to add them. So we've already converted those into improper fractions. So 1 3/4 plus 1 3/8 is equal to 7/4 plus 11/8. My next step for adding or subtracting mixed numbers is finding that common denominator. So that's exactly the same as adding or subtracting fractions. If you need help with finding common denominators, I have linked that video to this. So if you need a refresher on that, please go watch that video. So I have 7/4 plus 11/8. I'm just going to rewrite that down here. Because 4 multiplies into 8, all I have to do is change that first fraction. This just gives us less work. So I know that 4 multiplied by 2 is 8. So that means I can multiply both the numerator and denominator by 2. And that will give us a fraction with a common denominator. So I'm going to get 14 over 8 because 7 times 2 is 14 and 4 times 2 is 8. Now I have two fractions with the same denominator. I have 14/8 plus 11/8. So now I am able to add those together. When we're adding or subtracting fractions, we keep that denominator the same, and then we just do the operations with that numerator. So 14 plus 11 is 25. So we're not quite done here. We like to have simplest form when we're doing our math. So we want to convert this back into a mixed number. I know that 8 goes into 25 3 times, so 3 is going to be our whole. And there's going to be 1 left over, because 8 times 3 is 24. So that 1 left over I'm going to use as my numerator, and as usual, we're going to keep that denominator exactly the same. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.